Welcome back, everybody, to More Than Commas. I'm Paul Adams, and today we're going to look at the often overlooked question, what if more money isn't what's missing in your financial life? What if a higher paycheck just turns up the volume on everything else going on? You see, in this episode, we're going to look at why a raise may be the wrong remedy and how to pursue a life where income serves you, not the other way around. Let's start with a story. A few years ago, a client of ours had a huge career win. After years of hard work, he landed the executive role he was after, came with a big salary bump, bonus structure, and an equity stake. He thought he was going to be proud, relieved, but instead he felt anxious. You see, he had more income, more travel, more pressure, less peace. And his story is more common than you think. The thing is, most people just don't talk about it. And it raises a deeper question. What if the bigger paycheck wasn't the answer? Maybe because it wasn't the problem to start with. Let's unpack some core insights, 3 that are going to help us reframe how we think about income. Number 1, more income without margin is a trap. You see, the danger is believing that a larger paycheck will naturally buy freedom. But income isn't the same thing as margin. Margin is what's left over financially, emotionally, and relationally after you've made your commitments, after those commitments have been met. And what we often see is as income rises, often we increase the ways that we're obligated. Like a bigger home not only has a higher mortgage, but also has greater maintenance. More travel adds more expense and complexity to life. And higher status may produce bigger expectations, like maybe you're supposed to consume at a certain level now that you have this certain job. The margin doesn't expand with income naturally. In fact, it often shrinks as income increases. You see, real freedom isn't going to be based in the amount of money that you earn. It's going to be found in the amount of money you manage to preserve and set aside. And then how much time do you have to live, reflect, and rest? So number 2, a bigger paycheck doesn't equal a bigger life. You see, we can get this idea of compensation mixed up with calling. We had another client who is a medical professional, and she had hit the top 1% of income in her field, but she'd lost joy in her work, and she asked, am I allowed to consider doing something different after all the work that I've put in, something that might be more aligned with who I am? And the answer is, of course, yes, because your income is not your identity. Your life isn't measured by the size of your paycheck. It's going to be measured by you, especially by the alignment you had between the days that you lived and the design you had for your life. You see, you were created with a purpose, and that purpose might include wealth, but wealth is never the whole story. If you're ignoring dreams, building additional margin in your life, or rest, maybe even family for the sake of title or money, that's not wealth. In fact, it might be better looked at as captivity inside of that role. We'll get to number 3 in just a second, but let's hear from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by Sound Financial Group. At Sound Financial, we specialize in helping clients build strong, long-term financial strategies for their retirement. If you're looking for personalized advice to help manage your wealth, visit us at sfgway.com to learn more about how we can help you achieve your goals.
Number 3, money is a multiplier, not a mentor. You see, money can't teach you anything, but it will multiply the things you have in life. You see, one of the most sobering truths that I've learned over the years is this. Money doesn't tell you what to do. It only gives you more power to do what you're already doing. If you're anxious, money is going to give you more things to worry about. If you're insecure, money's going to give you more tools to hide behind. And if you're generous, of course, money's going to give you more opportunity to bless others. The bigger paycheck isn't the mentor. It's not going to guide you to make wise choices. That is 100% your job. Now, in our next episode, I'm going to do something a little different. And I'm going to take a passage from a book called Atlas Shrugged and a speech that was given in that book by a character named Francisco d'Ancona about the evils of money. And what I think you're going to enjoy about that is just this very simple but deep way that he talks about any amount of money we have is only going to amplify the life that we have today. Again, money can't be the mentor. So what is the real answer? If the bigger paycheck isn't solving the restlessness, the upset, the anxiousness, what might? Well, you might want to start by asking better questions. What do I want my life to look like 5 years from now? What values do I want reflected in the way I deploy my capital? And am I trading things that I care about for numbers that I barely understand? We don't want to just chase more. We want to define what's enough to live a good life. Write that down so it doesn't drift. You see, you can build a rhythm that's just of review in your life. Create a time each month where you're just going to look at your expenses. You don't even have to beat yourself up. Just do an inventory of where the money is going like a mirror, just the ability to make an assessment. And when you sit down and do that review, go back and glance at that 5-year vision you had. And by writing it down, it means society, friends, circumstances aren't going to cause you to drift. If you've written it down, you're only going to change it with thought and reflection and time to sit down and change it. So if the person that you're becoming isn't the person that you're going to admire when you get there, now's probably the better time to pivot. Even if it costs you money on the top line, because you can always earn more, but you can't buy back peace, time, or presence with those you care about. And regardless of your faith tradition, God's design for work includes provision, but it also includes rest. It includes community and it includes an impact. Your paycheck isn't a tool. It's not the point. We need to stop measuring success by income and start measuring it by alignment, health, and legacy in addition to that income, because the income is important, but the other things often get ignored. So if this episode helped you reflect more clearly, then pass this on to somebody else who's working hard but maybe running low on meaning. You can subscribe to More Than Commas. Please leave a review. Visit sfgwa.com to schedule a conversation, and let's get your financial life moving in the direction that truly matters. Thanks for joining me. I'm Paul Adams, and this is More Than Commas. A bigger paycheck is only a blessing if it helps you build a better life. In our next episode, we are going to dive into the Francisco d'Ancona speech from Atlas Shrugged, so be ready to be enlightened, offended, or upset. But we will see you back next week. Until then, get back to living a great life.